Ethereum, guys, is so close to previous all-time high at $4,800. The markets of altcoins are absolutely pumping right now. So many coins in double-digit gains and some in triple-digit gains. We've seen Bitcoin on the move again, and we have everything pointing out to a huge altcoin season ahead. So what we need to be aware of right now at this exact moment in time, should we anticipate a little bit of correction, markets breathing in a little bit after such an extensive pump to the upside, all of that in today's show and how high we can see everything is going. So first of all, let's celebrate, guys, because Ethereum hit $4,730. If you look at the monthly, we are actually right now at the very top. We are testing the previous all-time high of Ethereum. This is incredible right now. Ethereum to Bitcoin continues to outperform the gains. Solana was up above $200 as well. Just a couple moments ago, and we're seeing the entire markets is pumping. We're seeing OKB up 122%. All of that because they have announced token supply like burning $7.6 billion of burn. Crazy. OKX is on the tier, and we are seeing the total crypto market cap is at all-time high, literally at all-time high, 4.08, 4.1, something like that, trillion dollars. So what you should be paying attention to right now? Well, Ethereum is currently overextended, which means that it is ripe for a correction, right? We cannot just go up and up and up and up. You can see there was not a major correction happen in Ethereum yet. You can see a little bit over here, which was around 11% correction, but all the way since $2,100, we have not basically seen a correction on Ethereum. Not anything major anyways. And we are facing right now this resistance, which basically the previous all-time high. Okay, so you need to be very vigilant, very careful over here, because we might get a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a correction in this point to retest the previous very important resistance level of $4,000. So it will not surprise me if we're gonna go back to 4K, retest it, and then climb back to $5,500 and all the way to much higher levels. So be very vigilant, very careful. If indeed we are just going like bread through butter, which I don't believe it's gonna happen, but if we're going to close the day above $4,800 with a nice green sharp candle, well, maybe we'll go straight to 5K in this case and above. But until that happen, we are facing some resistance over here at $4,730 at the moment. Let's see how this day is going to end. Ethereum surpassed Netflix, Mastercard, and Palantir in just 1 week. Ethereum pump is melting faces right now. And here's 3 reasons why Ethereum will hit at least $10,000 this cycle. There's a lot of institutional demand. We're seeing more than half $1 billion in Ethereum ETFs has flown just in the 12th of August. It's absolutely incredible. In Q3, public listed companies and ETFs have bought 4.4 million Ethereum worth $20 billion. Individual whales and Web3 companies also bought over 2 million Ethereum this quarter, and this accounts for almost 5.5% of the total supply. There is a lot of decentralized exchange volume activity that hits all-time high, daily transactions all-time high, monthly active users all-time high, stablecoin supply new all-time high. We're seeing a supply crunch. 30% of Ethereum supply has been staked. 8% of supply has been bought by companies and ETFs. 25% of supply being held by long-term diamond hand holders. I mean, we see all of these metrics, and now with 401k access, upcoming rate cuts and pro-crypto regulation, the demand for Ethereum will only go up. So some bullish great times ahead of us. Okay, nothing goes in one straight line, of course, but we are definitely on the right track for Ethereum to gain some serious momentum here on the monthly time frame. So we also see that Standard Chartered Bank raised its 2025 year and Ethereum price target to $7,500, $7,500, and $25,000 by 2028. So there is a lot of great future for Ethereum, so it seems, but we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. Bitcoin back to $122,000. You can see on the day, that's what Bitcoin has been able to achieve over here on the day. It reached $122,000, literally testing right now inches away from the previous all-time high. Is it going to create a new all-time high? Let's see. The all-time high is $123,000 right now. We see L2's thesis is dead. What does it mean? Because Tether, Stripe, and Circle, the two largest stablecoin companies, and Stripe, the largest payment processor, all launching their own layer ones to compete with Ethereum. Can you imagine that? When all these layer ones, not layer twos, but layer ones are going to launch, why would people use L2s? That's the question, okay? So there's a lot of competitions right now with all these new L1s launching. We're gonna see how that is going to be affecting basically the L2s that we currently have, like Arbitrum. Let's take a look at the Arbitrum, how it is performing over here. Layer 2 on Ethereum, ARB-USDT. Well, it's on the rise. It's on the rise. You can see altcoins have been pumping. So it's on the rise today, about 10%. And since beginning of the month, Arbitrum, let's see, is up 45% actually. Very, very, very good. Altcoins are waking up, and I believe this is just the beginning. So if you're not loading up on altcoins right now, well, you may be missing out. You may be missing out big time to load up heavily before Ethereum breaks its previous all-time high. We have Vietnamese government confirms launching the first state-owned Bitcoin and crypto exchange, which is massive. We see Sui announce Sui Pay, that they are entering the payment landscape, real-time payment processing with Sui and USDC. I mean, it's incredible. Again, Sui is on a good track over here to back to $5.50. It's currently when it's gonna surpass $4.2. That's when we're gonna see a big move to the upside for Sui. And U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent says Federal Reserve is likely to cut rates by 50 basis points very, very soon. So this is next month. So again, the markets are getting ready for that rate cut, more capital inflow into the market, which will move the prices more. El Salvador's Bitcoin holdings are now over $750 million, almost $1 billion right now. Every day they've been buying one Bitcoin, every day like that. They've been buying. And $1.8 billion in shorts will get liquidated if Ethereum hits a new all-time high. There is a lot of bettors right now on the short side, so you need to be very, very careful over here. What we are actually looking at is how this day is gonna close. Okay, how this day is gonna close. If we're gonna if you're gonna print like a bearish candle over here on the day, or are we gonna print a nice juicy green candle? Okay, So let's see how the day is gonna turn out. It's not finished yet, so be careful. The sixth largest city in Brazil passes bill to become the country's Bitcoin capital in the second round of voting. So again, there is so much going on. There's so much going on right now in crypto. It is insane. Okay, and in these times of we start to see the vibes of euphoria. Again, you need to be very careful because some kind of a short-term correction we have not really seen in Ethereum. If you look at the 12-hour chart, we have not really seen in Ethereum since $3,400. So in the immediate short term, you might see some kind of a correction here. And I would say towards the $4,400 at least, I would expect some sort of a correction towards that mark before pushing higher, or maybe to 4,200. But yeah. So let's see. Time will show. The market is very volatile. Be careful. We have Pionex bots. Pionex bots. You can create a greed bot. I'm gonna publish a tutorial of how you can do that. It's basically coming to the future bot over here. Set up a future grid, and as long as it trades in the different ranges, it can print you money. So I'm already up 9% over here. It's a small tiny position. I'm testing right now all the functionalities, but it's really easy. It's really easy to set up over here. So with that being said, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day. I'm gonna see you guys in the next episode of Today in Crypto Show. Peace and blessings.